What kind of aircraft can leave even Donald Trump speechless? Welcome to a world where jets aren't just for travel. They're flying fortresses, mobile palaces, and billion-dollar power statements. From gold-plated interiors to nuclear command systems, this is luxury and security at 35,000 feet. Flying symbols of power. At 35,000 feet, a plane is no longer just a vehicle. It's a flying embassy, a command center, and a message to the world. Presidential aircraft aren't built solely for comfort or speed. They're designed to reflect national identity, project authority, and reinforce the image of leadership on a global stage. Whether discreet or extravagant, every detail is intentional, every upgrade strategic. Belgium's Falcon 7X, for instance, is a masterclass in subtlety. Sleek, minimalistic, and quietly powerful, it reflects a nation that values diplomacy over display. There's no gold trim, no excessive space, just precision, practicality, and understated luxury. It whispers influence rather than shouting it. Now compare that to Saudi Arabia's custom Airbus A380, a flying palace with a Turkish bath, a Rolls-Royce garage, and a prayer room that rotates to face Mecca. These contrasts reveal more than aesthetic choices. They highlight differing philosophies of power. For some nations, discretion is the ultimate form of sophistication. For others, spectacle is strategy. And in the skies above, where borders blur and cameras are always watching, how a leader flies says as much as how they govern. Putin's flying fortress, the IL-96-300PO. At first glance, the IL-96-300PU may resemble an ordinary long-range Russian aircraft, but behind its unstated silhouette lies one of the most secretive and heavily fortified flying command centers in the world. Known as the Flying Kremlin, this $500 million machine isn't just a presidential jet. It's a mobile nuclear bunker, a digital war room, and a projection of power built to operate even when the world below collapses. Commissioned by the Russian government, specifically for President Vladimir Putin, the IL-96-300PU is not about golden interiors or crystal chandeliers. Its opulence isn't ostentatious. It's buried beneath layers of reinforced steel, electromagnetic shielding, and military-grade encryption. The exterior is intentionally unassuming, but the interior houses one of the most advanced airborne defense suites on the planet. It's designed to survive and function during a full-scale nuclear conflict. Inside, Putin's jet is equipped with encrypted satellite communication systems, radar jamming technology, anti-missile countermeasures, and even EMP, electromagnetic pulse protection. But what truly sets it apart is its ability to serve as a flying nuclear command center. In the event of war, the Russian president could continue to coordinate military operations, including nuclear response, entirely from the sky. Few world leaders have access to this level of airborne control. The design remains top secret, with very few verified images of the interior. What is known suggests a blend of tactical efficiency and muted luxury. Leather seating, dark wood panels, and secure compartments where high-level decisions are made beyond the reach of terrestrial threats. What's even more telling is the reaction from foreign leaders. During a brief and rare encounter, Donald Trump, whose own Boeing 757 is famous for gold-plated seatbelts and a luxury aesthetic, was reportedly left speechless by the IL-96's capabilities. It wasn't the size or style that impressed him. It was the sheer scale of security, the stealth, and the command-ready layout of the aircraft. It was, quite simply, a level of preparation that stunned even one of the world's most flamboyant billionaires. For Putin, this jet is more than transportation. It is a statement that, in any global scenario, from diplomacy to disaster, Russia's leader will never be grounded. The American Standard, Air Force One. At 231 feet long and with a wingspan larger than a football field, the Boeing VC-25, better known as Air Force One, isn't just a plane, it's a flying fortress, a nerve center, and one of the most powerful symbols of American leadership. This heavily modified Boeing 747-200B is capable of far more than transporting the president. It can wage war, lead a nation, and remain airborne indefinitely in times of crisis. Externally, it may look like a standard jumbo jet, but beneath its iconic blue and white paint job lies an aerial battleship. loaded with classified defense systems, cutting-edge radar jamming tech, and hardened communications that link the president to every branch of the US military, even in the middle of a nuclear war. And thanks to mid-air refueling capabilities, Air Force One can stay in the sky for days, functioning as a mobile White House in the gravest scenarios. The plane features over 4,000 square feet of interior space, including a presidential suite, conference rooms, a medical operating room, and secure communication centers. Every detail is designed for continuity of government. In case of attack or emergency, the president can direct military operations from the air, brief cabinet members, and even authorize nuclear retaliation, all while cruising at 35,000 feet. During 9/11, this aircraft became a lifeline of control and security as President George W. Bush was flown to various undisclosed locations. That day cemented Air Force One's role not just as a vehicle of travel, but of strategic survival. Despite its age, the current Air Force One remains a masterpiece of aerospace engineering and Cold War foresight. Plans for a new fleet, the VC-25B, promise enhanced stealth, upgraded comms, and even greater durability, but the legacy of the original is unmatched. In the world of presidential aircraft, luxury matters. But in America's case, security, endurance, and command take priority. Air Force One doesn't just carry a president, it carries the full weight of American power, anytime, anywhere. The gold standard. Trump's Boeing 757. While most leaders fly to serve a nation, Donald Trump flies to make a statement. His iconic Boeing 757, often dubbed Trump Force One, is not a presidential aircraft in the official sense, but in terms of spectacle, it might just outshine them all. From the moment it touches the tarmac, this jet screams opulence, ego, and brand power. Originally purchased for around $100 million, Trump 757 has been completely overhauled to fit his lavish lifestyle. Step inside and you're met with 24-karat gold-plated seatbelt buckles, gold bathroom fixtures, and even a crystal sink. The interior is swathed in cream-colored leather, mahogany wood, and plush carpeting, resembling more of a five-star penthouse than a plane. One of its most flamboyant features, a home theater system with a 57-inch screen and surround sound, perfect for mid-air media dominance. The master bedroom includes a private ensuite, while Trump's signature T is stitched or engraved on nearly every surface, from the seats to the headrests. But unlike Air Force One, Trump's jet serves no national security function. It's not equipped with military-grade defenses, encrypted communications, or any capability for mid-air governance. Instead, it operates as a personal flying billboard, reinforcing Trump's larger-than-life persona across global skies. Wherever it lands, it turns heads, not for strategy, but for spectacle. Still, there's no denying the aircraft's role in shaping Trump's public image. During the 2016 presidential campaign, the 757 became a symbol of private success and populist swagger, transporting him from rally to rally like a rock star on tour. It was luxury, repurposed as political theater, and it worked. Now we want to hear from you. Comment gold standard if you think Trump's jet outshines even official presidential planes, or share your thoughts if you believe it's more show than substance. Either way, this aircraft is pure Trump, bold, extravagant, and unforgettable. Royals of the Sky, Saudi Arabia's A390. At 35,000 feet, Saudi Arabia's custom Airbus A300 isn't just a jet. It's a floating palace, arguably the most extravagant aircraft ever built. With an estimated cost of over $600 million, this airborne marvel was commissioned not merely for transportation, but as a powerful statement of royalty, faith, and absolute opulence. The exterior of the aircraft retains the understated elegance typical of commercial A380s, but inside every square meter has been transformed into a kingdom in the sky. The jet boasts a private Rolls-Royce garage on board, allowing luxury vehicles to travel alongside the royal family. A fully operational spa complex is built into the cabin, featuring marble finishes, gold detailing, and a team of in-leaf attendants trained in high-scent wellness services. Perhaps most awe-inspiring is the rotating prayer room, a technological marvel that automatically orients itself toward Mecca no matter the plane's heading. This ensures the royal passengers can observe their prayers in alignment with Islamic tradition, even while flying across continents. The interior design blends Arabian artistic tradition with futuristic functionality. Silk wall coverings, hand-carved woodwork, crystal chandeliers and gold-scented ceilings frame the living areas. There are multiple bedrooms, private offices, lounges and even a concert hall designed for in-flight entertainment. The throne room-like main cabin is often reserved for the king, complete with a vast reclining seat that resembles more of a royal chaise than a cockpit chair. This A380 is not simply a mode of transport, it's a flying national symbol, a diplomatic statement of power, wealth and cultural pride. In a world where luxury jets are measured by leather seats and onboard Wi-Fi, Saudi Arabia has redefined the rules. Their airborne palace not only dwarfs most presidential jets in size and prestige, it reflects the grandeur and traditions of a monarchy that spares no expense in representing its stature on the global stage. Military intelligence in the sky. Israel, Turkey and South Korea. When it comes to merging aviation, surveillance and national defense, a few countries have taken their presidential aircraft to the level of flying military intelligence hubs. Israel, Turkey and South Korea stand out, not just for their aircraft's luxury, but for the deeply integrated real-time battlefield capabilities built into every inch of the cabin. Israel's Gulfstream G550, nicknamed Nakshan Shavit, looks modest on the outside, but under its sleek white fuselage lies a powerhouse of electronic warfare and intelligence gathering. Outfitted with long-range radar systems, signal interceptors and high-frequency communication jammers, this aircraft isn't designed for show. It's built to see without being seen, often serving as Israel's eyes in the sky during military operations. While leaders may fly aboard for diplomatic missions, this is a multi-role aircraft capable of supporting real-time threat analysis and airborne decision-making in the heat of conflict. Turkey's Boeing 747-8, on the other hand, represents a more overt display of military-backed prestige. Though known for its lavish gold-trimmed interiors, its true power lies in bulletproof windows, encrypted satellite communications, and emergency command functions. President Erdogan's jet is built to endure turbulence, not just from the weather, but from political unrest and potential attack. It's as much a mobile bunker as it is a diplomatic tool. Then there's South Korea's Boeing 747-8I, known locally as Code 1. With North Korea just across the border, South Korea's presidential aircraft is more than a transport plane. It's a flying command center equipped with radar evasion systems, missile defense, and the ability to coordinate national defense efforts in the event of war. It's designed to keep the president connected to military leadership and secure channels, even during a nuclear event. These aircraft demonstrate that for nations surrounded by tension or steeped in geopolitical complexity, presidential jets must be more than luxurious, they must be strategic assets. Every sensor, antenna, and encrypted line of code on board exists to protect, predict, and preserve power at 40,000 feet. Jets as political controversy, Mexico and Kazakhstan. Not all presidential aircraft inspire pride, some ignite public outrage. Mexico's Boeing 787 Dreamliner, for instance, became a national scandal rather than a symbol of power. With a staggering price tag of over $325 million, this ultra-modern jet, once considered a rival to Air Force One in design, was delivered during a time of deep economic disparity. Its luxurious interiors, complete with marble accents and an executive bedroom, stood in stark contrast to the realities of millions of struggling Mexican citizens. Critics lambasted it as a tone-deaf purchase, and its existence fueled populist campaigns. When President Andrés Manuel López Obrador came into office, he refused to use the jet altogether, citing it as a monument to excess. Attempts to sell or lease the aircraft only deepened the controversy, with the jet becoming a political symbol of elite disconnect. In sharp contrast lies Kazakhstan's Boeing 767-300ER, a jet wrapped in secrecy rather than splendor. Very little is known about its interiors or capabilities, and the government maintains tight control over any public details. This jet represents a different kind of controversy, not one of visible extravagance, but of concealed power. The lack of transparency surrounding the aircraft raises concerns about how national wealth is spent and who truly benefits from such assets. Together, these two cases illustrate how presidential jets can become lightning rods for national debate. Whether flaunting wealth or hiding it, these aircraft often reveal more about political climate than their polished exteriors would suggest. National identity through the sky. When a world leader steps onto a presidential jet, they're not just boarding a plane, they're stepping into a flying emblem of national identity. These aircraft are carefully curated to reflect not only technological prowess, but also deep-rooted cultural pride. Take India's Boeing 777-300ER, for example. Beyond its advanced defense systems and encrypted communications, the jet features interiors influenced by traditional Indian craftsmanship. Fine wood paneling, hand-woven upholstery, and gold-accented motifs reminiscent of royal palaces. It's not mere decor, it's storytelling at 35,000 feet. Canada's Airbus A340-500 takes a more subtle yet equally powerful route. Fitted with locally sourced leather, polished maple wood, and indigenous artwork, the cabin offers a warm, understated elegance. This quiet sophistication speaks volumes about Canada's diplomatic approach. Measured, modest, yet firmly rooted in heritage. Similarly, Saudi Arabia's Airbus A380 dazzles not only with its opulence, but with its symbolism. Prayer rooms that rotate to face Mecca, mosaic tiled baths, and ceremonial art from Islamic history, each detail reinforcing the kingdom's cultural and religious identity. These touches go beyond aesthetics. They're strategic tools of diplomacy. A foreign dignitary stepping inside these aircraft immediately receives a visual narrative of the host nation's values. In a world where soft power often shapes international relations, these subtle cultural expressions, woven into furniture, fabric, and layout, can carry more weight than a handshake. The skies, it seems, have become a new stage for nations to express who they are, what they value, and how they wish to be seen. The stealth sovereign, China's shadow jet. It doesn't gleam with gold or dazzle with chandeliers, but China's presidential aircraft might just be the most unsettling jet in the sky. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary Air China 747-8, blending seamlessly into international airspace. But beneath that plain exterior lies a fortress, silent, heavily encrypted, and engineered for total control. The aircraft is rumored to house a suite of classified technology, including satellite-encrypted communication systems, real-time surveillance capabilities, and military-grade cybersecurity. Every inch is designed not to impress, but to listen, watch, and protect. It's not built for luxury selfies, it's built for strategic dominance. Inside, the president has access to live satellite feeds, encrypted briefings, and secured war room-style conference areas, tools meant for command, not comfort. Reports from former intelligence officials suggest that when this aircraft lands abroad, a full anti-surveillance sweep is deployed the moment it returns to Chinese soil, an indication of how seriously Beijing guards what happens on board. The jet itself may carry counter-surveillance jammers and signal decoys, though details remain under tight wraps. This secrecy isn't just operational, it's philosophical. Unlike Trump's personalized Boeing with gold hardware or Saudi Arabia's Sky Police Airbus A380, Xi Jinping's aircraft never tries to show off. In fact, it tries not to be noticed at all. But that silence, that absence of flash, it screams power. Power that doesn't need validation, power that exists without applause. It's an airliner that flies like a ghost and lands like a statement. In the modern world, where most leaders crave visibility, this aircraft embodies the opposite, invisibility as a strategic weapon. No slogans, no flash, just a quiet message. We're watching, we're moving, and we're never explaining. If you're still picturing Air Force One as the world's most formidable plane, you might need to look again at the one you can't even see coming. Jet of the North, the quiet strength of Canada's flying command. It doesn't boast gold-plated accents or floating lounges, but the Canadian Prime Minister's Airbus A310, fondly dubbed Can Force One, is no less significant in the geopolitical skies. It's a machine that doesn't roar, it whispers. And that whisper carries the weight of a nation known for diplomacy, discretion, and deliberate power. Inside, the aircraft is a reflection of Canada's identity, refined without being flashy. Subtle maple wood paneling lines the interior, a quiet nod to national pride. There's a conference space for mid-air cabinet discussions, private quarters for rest, and encrypted communication systems allowing the PM to oversee crises while flying over oceans. It's not opulence, it's operational clarity wrapped in restraint. Critics often focus on its age. First introduced in the early 1990s, it lacks the slick curves and cutting-edge stealth of its newer counterparts. But this is changing. Canada has initiated plans to phase in the CC-330 Husky, a more modern aircraft that mirrors the same principles: efficiency, security, and sovereignty. The Husky will feature upgraded avionics, enhanced cybersecurity, and a stronger global range, allowing Canada's leadership to project soft power across harder lines. But what truly defines CanForce One isn't its specs, it's the message it sends. Canada doesn't need floating palaces or billion-dollar upgrades to command respect. This aircraft arrives quietly, delivers its agenda, and leaves with the same poise it came with. In a world of booming nationalism and airborne extravagance, Canada's jet remains a study in understated dominance. It reminds us that influence doesn't always come dressed in gold. Sometimes it wears diplomatic grey, speaks in calm tones, and still gets exactly what it came for. If you're watching for the loudest plane in the sky, you'll miss the one changing policy before wheels even touch the ground. From Saudi palaces in the sky to Russia's stealthy command centers, presidential jets reveal more than just travel preferences. They reflect national priorities, personal egos, and geopolitical strategies. Whether it's Trump's golden Boeing or Putin's airborne fortress, each plane tells a story of power, protection, and prestige. Which jet blew your mind the most? Comment below, we're curious to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a deep dive into the world of global elites.